Hello everyone and welcome to this Yin Yoga routine. Today we're going to focus on back bends, just some nice gentle back bends to help to open up your shoulders and increase your spinal flexibility. For this routine you will need some yoga blocks, but if you don't have yoga blocks you can grab some nice thick books. I have the Book of Symbols and The Joy of Cooking. Both will work absolutely fine for me today. So go ahead and grab whatever you need. This routine is really great for anybody who spends a lot of time folding forward. For me, it was gardening the other day that inspired this video. Spending so much time looking down and hunched over really made me crave some nice back bends and shoulder opening poses. So if you are someone who also spends time hunched over, then this routine is going to be super good to save and come back to, just to help avoid accumulations of tension and even pain within your back and your shoulders. So if you are ready to begin, we're going to start today in supported fish pose. And this is where you will need your books or blocks. So we're going to start maybe just with one book or block on the mat like so. If you don't want to go so deep into this back bend, you can have your other book or block here to support your head. It's completely up to you and you're welcome to take as much time as you need to adjust and figure out what's going to work. We're going to be here for 3 minutes in total. Now I know that I don't need necessarily that second book for my head, so I'm just going to work with one today. And we want to have it roughly underneath our shoulder blades. Again, it's going to look different for everyone, so take some time to figure out what works for you. And when we're there, we're either bringing the crown of our head back down onto the mat, or we're bringing it onto that second block or book. Once you have found something that seems sustainable for you, you might bring your legs long on the mat, allowing them to take up as much space as they need. Arms can come wide out to the sides with your palms facing up. And all we have to do here is allow gravity to drip the body over the block or the book. Really feeling your chest opening as your shoulders drop down to the earth. Take a moment to release tension from your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your entire body here. Now bring some awareness to your breath. Feel yourself breathing in, entire body expanding. And feel yourself breathing out, entire body dripping to the ground. Try your best to attach your awareness to your breath. Just following your breath in, feeling your body, and following your breath out, feeling your body. Once you notice yourself engaging in thinking, just encourage your mind back here to your breath and to your body. And I'll let you know when it's time to release the pose. Once again, relax your jaw, soften your body, and take 3 more breaths here. And now you can start to make some gentle movements again. And there's no rush to do so, but you can start to slowly peel yourself up off of your book or block using your elbows for support. Then remove whatever is underneath you. We're going to come back down to lie on our backs. Really slowly rolling the spine back down. Finding ourselves in corpse pose here, spreading the feet and the hands wide apart. Palms can face up. The chin is slightly tucked towards the chest. Taking a few breaths here, allowing the spine to realign itself against the floor. And giving the body a moment to digest the pose that we just did. Even though we're resting here, still keeping your awareness with your breath, with your body. And bring some gentle movements back now. From here you can come to lie on the front of your body. However you get there is fine. And we're going to do Sphinx pose next. So you can have your elbows out in front of you and then hold opposite elbows with your hands. That's going to help you to find the distance for your elbows, that they should be apart. And then the forearms can come back onto the mat in front of you. If this feels too intense, you can slide your elbows forward. And of course, to make a deeper back bend, you can keep your elbows closer to you. Feet are whatever distance apart feels right for you. We want to keep a little bit of activity within our legs and our glutes. So we're not completely relaxed here. We're not tense either. We're somewhere in the middle. Now chest can shine forward. And to keep that nice back bend, you can look straight out in front of you if that feels okay for you. If not, you can gaze down towards the mat. We're going to be here in Sphinx pose for 3 minutes. Once you feel settled, find all of these sensations within your body. They're going to be your anchors to keep your mind here in the body. You might be feeling that compression within the lower back. You might feel that bend within your upper back. As you breathe in, you can feel your belly spill across the mat. And as you breathe out, you might feel that very subtle deepening of the back bend. Now we're going to stay with this back bend in Sphinx pose, but also incorporate a little shoulder opener. So you can bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot with your right hand. Now this will look different for everybody. You might feel this stretch within your right quad, which is a nice bonus, but really we do want to keep our focus here in our right shoulder. So find that position that works for you, that allows you to open up that right shoulder. You might start to gently pull the right foot away from you, so it does pull your shoulder back and creates that nice stretch. Once you've found what works, just try settle in, find that little bit of stillness. Tapping into all of the sensations you feel within your body now and sending your breath in wherever it's needed the most. Take one more big breath in here if you can. Now we'll slowly bring everything back down to the earth, settling in our regular Sphinx for just a moment. Maybe noticing a difference within the two sides of the body. And now we will repeat on the left side. So the left knee can bend. We're reaching back with our left hand and we're finding that nice opening within our left shoulder. Taking 3 more breaths here if you can. And then you can start to slowly release. This time coming all the way down into crocodile pose, letting out a big sigh if you need to. You can make a pillow with your hands and rest maybe a cheek or your forehead onto your pillow. And then your big toes come together, heels drop out towards the edges of your mat. And this allows the entire back body to rest. So let's stay here for a few breaths. Once again, digesting and processing all of the poses you've done so far. Now the next pose that we'll practice is called broken wing. So to do this pose, you can reach your right arm out to the right. It can be perpendicular to your body, or you can keep the arm itself at a right angle, whatever feels best for you. And of course, you're free to wiggle around and experiment and test out each version of the pose. Then we're going to bring our left hand onto the left side of the mat. And very mindfully, we'll start to roll over onto our right hip. You can rest your right ear back down onto the ground. Your left foot might come behind you and it acts as a kickstand to support your body here. If you want to go deeper into the pose, you can start to gently shift more weight into your right shoulder. And the left hand can stay as it is, or it might come back to rest at your lower back with your palm facing away from the body. And the more you can gently push that left elbow up towards the sky, the more of an opening you'll feel within your left shoulder as well. Now we'll be here for 2 minutes in total, but this is quite an intense shoulder opener. So if you feel that you need to come out of the pose earlier, please do. And here we need to be mindful of any numbness or tingling within our hands. That is a sign that we're pinching a nerve. So if you feel that happening, especially within your right hand, just come on out, give yourself a little rest. You can always come back into the pose. Find your breath. Scan your body for the area that wants your breath the most. And send it in there. Now it's time to slowly unravel, making our way back onto the belly. Give yourself a little time here to process if you need to. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So now your left arm comes out, right hand comes to the right side of the mat, and we're slowly rolling over to the left hip, bringing that right foot back behind us. And only going one edge at a time, seeing how much weight you can put into that left shoulder, if any at all. And if you want to open up the right shoulder here, bring that right hand to your lower back and encourage your right elbow to the sky. Take 3 more breaths here in broken wing. And when you're ready, you can start to roll back onto the front of your body. Coming to find crocodile pose once again, resting on your pillow, bringing your big toes together, flopping the heels to the edges. Keeping your mind here with your breath, with your body, and just feeling whatever you feel. Our next back bend and shoulder opener is puppy pose. So you can start to gently lift yourself up, coming towards all fours. Now our knees will stay on the mat here. If you need to pad them by folding your mat, please do so. Then the hands reach towards the front of the mat, keeping the hips relatively over the knees here, or just dropping the chest and head back to the mat. By keeping the hips over the knees, we've created that back bend in our upper back. And we're also feeling that opening through the front of the shoulders. If this becomes too intense, you can take a bend into your elbows. And once again, we want to be aware of any numbness or tingling within our hands. If we feel that, bend the elbows, and you can even just bring the hand back beside you. Practice this pose with just one hand forward at a time. We'll be here for 2 minutes, or for however long feels right for you to stay. Gravity is doing all of the work here. You're just assisting by taking big mindful breaths, by keeping your awareness in your body. Breathe in and feel your body expand. Breathe out and feel that subtle deepening of the back bend. It's time to gently release the pose. We're going to do so by just sliding forward onto the belly. Taking your time getting there, observing each sensation as it arises. We're going to come into seal pose now. So if seal pose is too intense, you can practice a Sphinx pose. But if you do want to take it a little bit deeper this time, you can bring your hands next to your chest, keep your feet wide apart, and then slowly lift your upper body up. Now your arms might straighten here, they might not. Either is fine. We're looking straight out ahead, or this time to deepen that back bend, you can look diagonally up. We're going to be here for just 1 minute. And if you need to come out of the pose sooner, of course, that is okay. Please do. Otherwise, find your breath. Find your spine. And just imagine it like a row of Christmas lights here. You're trying to get all the bulbs in a nice straight-ish line. Stretching it out so there's no kinks. Three more breaths here if you can. And when you're ready, you can start to slowly bring yourself back down to the ground and come to rest in crocodile pose. When you're ready to do so, you can start to slowly pick yourself back up again. We're going to repeat puppy pose, but this time we're going to incorporate our books or blocks to create a little bit of a deeper shoulder opener, a bit of a deeper back bend. So if you are happy as you are, if you don't want to go that little bit deeper, you can always practice regular puppy pose again, or you can come into child's pose and bring your hands out in front of you, also helping to open up the shoulders. But for our deeper puppy pose, put your blocks or books on the mat in front of you, side by side. Now, to go to our first stage in puppy pose, we want to have our knees underneath our hips, hands or forearms are on our books or blocks, and then the head and chest is making its way back towards the mat. So already feeling that deeper shoulder opener. But if you want to go deeper again, you can scoot yourself forward a little bit so you're closer to your books or blocks and your elbows are coming onto the mat. Now the knees once again are staying below the hips if they can. Hands might come together and even clasp each other here, and then the head is dropping down towards the earth. Now choose whichever version works best for you. And remember, you don't have to come into any version here. You can always rest in crocodile or child's pose. Wherever you are, find your breath. Feel all of these sensations within your body. Feel that back bend and shoulder opener. Send your breath to it. Take one more full breath in. And now just moving one stage at a time, you can slowly start to bring yourself out of the pose. And then coming to sit on the mat. You can release the poses however you feel called to do. You might bring your hands back behind you and then gently open up your chest. Maybe even dropping your head back. Big breath in, long breath out. We're just going to end this yin routine with a simple seated twist. So not a yin pose, I will admit, but it is a nice way just to bring that equilibrium back to the body. So you can bend your right knee, having your right foot closer to you. Left arm wraps around the right knee and the right arm comes back in behind you. Now bring your right hand close to your tailbone so the arm props up your spine. Inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, start to slowly twist your spine, eventually maybe looking back behind you. Taking 3 breaths here. And then making our way back to center, switching legs, and twisting to the opposite side. And slowly making your way back, finding a seated position. Now you can always come back down into Shavasana pose if you have time. I would definitely recommend that you take a few minutes there. I do have a video that will guide you through a 10-minute Shavasana if you feel called to do that. But otherwise, we're just going to take 3 more breaths quietly here on our mat together. So you can close your eyes. Breathe in, feeling yourself breathe in, and breathe out, feeling yourself breathe out. And when you're ready, you can start to open up your eyes again. And we will end our back bending practice here. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked this video. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave it a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, because I would really love to practice with you again in the future. And subscribing does help me to create this content. If you're interested in doing longer yin yoga practices along with yoga philosophy and other yoga practices as well, I do all of that inside of my YouTube membership. It's also a great way to support my content here on YouTube, and it's a nice way to help you to go that bit deeper into your yoga practice. So there's more information about that if you click the join button below this video. I'll see you again soon on the mat. Until then, take good care and goodbye.